Yo, what's up? This is Brother Shakim. My man, I can't right back at you once again. I'm gonna be very short, not gonna be long. I just had something I really wanted to get off my chest. I think we need to talk about it. It's very important that we talk about it. We got to have an extensive talk about it because it's very critical. This time right now that we're living in is very critical, and it's always imperative that we control the narrative. And anytime you see a narrative that's being swayed off to the left or right, it's very important that we have these very crucial discussions and bring them back to the middle. Anybody who wants to jump in and say something, please let me know. But the black culture is under attack. Right now, we are literally under attack, political attack, cultural attack. And one of the reasons why I say that is because over the last several months, and a lot of you can bear witness to this, over the last several months, all you've seen on your timeline are negative stories about black people, right? That's all you saw. Come on, let's just really be honest. All we saw is stories that have fed into the narrative of the alt-right or a lot of biased opinions on who black people are. And these statistics and these stories are all meant to take away from what black people are saying for decades. Like, these are issues, systemic issues that we want to address, we need to fix. So instead of people having these conversations, you got people who jumping in, they stirring, they talking about, just think all of these stories that people are sharing, right? All the kids got shot in DC, and oh my God, a kid was shot in Chicago, and all of this. I mean, they're acting like crime in all communities don't exist. But if you notice, the reason why a lot of the stories are centered around black people is because they want to actually desensitize the public and people in general from empathizing with the black struggle. That's it. That's all they're doing. It's a mind game. It's a strategy. So the mind game that they're playing is, if we can desensitize people to the black struggle, we don't have to address these issues. That's exactly what they're doing. It's right in your face. You just got to be wise enough to understand what's going on, right? So now, this is the thing. The brother said, we need to stop indulging in toxic and destructive media entertainment. That is correct. Reese, I agree with you 100,000%. That's something we got to do. And if you notice, right, I got a lot of conservatives on my page, a lot of Republicans. I got a bunch of people on my page. My page is very diverse. I welcome all people's opinions, and I won't delete nobody for their opinion. If somebody comes on and they say they don't like black people because, it's too much black on black crime in Chicago, I'm not going to delete that person. I am going to allow that person to express themselves if that's how they feel. But don't get it twisted. 90% of the stories that people are sharing, the people who are doing the sharing actually don't care about that particular individual. They're politicizing Black death to justify them thinking of us as being second-class citizens. That's what it is. You notice, right? I've noticed a lot of the people on my friends list, they have never shared stories about black people being entrepreneurs. They never share stories. Matter of fact, let me see if I still got it up. Look at the story I got right here. I'm gonna show y'all something really quick. And I want y'all to look at this story right here. Now tell me, why is it that a lot of these so-called black grifters, a lot of these black Republicans, and a lot of these grifters and conservatives, why aren't they sharing stories like this? This was just in the Black Enterprise magazine the other day, July the 5th. The founder of a black-owned smart vending startup makes history, raises $2.3 million through crowdfunding. Look at this, black woman. They don't share stories like this. You know why they don't share stories like this? It doesn't fit their narrative. it talks about how this lady actually started an automated retail company that leverages facial detection, right? This lady is a genius. Even during the COVID-19, everybody's out here struggling, right? Everybody's out here struggling. And this woman, black woman, happens to makes history and raises $2.3 million through crowdfunding. Why hasn't Candace Owens shared that story, right? Why hasn't Brandon Tatum shared that story? Why hasn't Charlie Kirk shared that story? Why haven't these conservatives that are so hell-bent on black crime in Chicago, why haven't they shared that story? Come on now, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Why haven't they shared these particular stories? Why? It's because it doesn't fit their narrative. And because it doesn't fit their narrative, they don't want to really talk about black success stories. They don't want to talk about black success stories. They want to talk about, people looting, people vandalizing this. They want to talk about negative things in the community that criminalize our people. They want to talk about, well, black women are having all of these abortions. But they didn't just talk about that story where this black lady just broke records in the age of COVID-19. Why is it that these aren't things that they've been highlighting to say, you know what? Black people, you can have what you want if you put your mind to it. Right? They're never gonna tell you stuff like that. They're never. So my question is this. What's up? Somebody had to share it at one time. Let me ask y'all this. When are we as a people going to start countering and rebuttaling a lot of the racist, negative rhetoric and posts that people are making? When are we going to start sharing success stories? See, we don't have to really we shouldn't have to wait on them to do it because we know that they're not going to do it. When are we going to start sharing success stories? We got to start making our Facebook pages positive. We got to start doing that. We have to start. We got to start holding black people accountable. And they talk about the cancel culture. We got to cancel. And when you got these black people that get on and all they do is talk about, oh, well, black people negative this, something negative about black. We got to cancel them. We got to. We're going to have to eventually start to fight against the negative propaganda that white supremacists are putting out and using black faces to co-sign. We're going to eventually have to start and say, you know what? We got to create platforms that are going to be 100% dedicated to sharing real positive stories in our community. Who's going to be the first? I will dedicate myself right now. Tag me, every single tag that I have about somebody doing something positive in the community to help, I'm going to share in every single group. I'm going to share on my page. Tag me in it. I want to see success stories because right now we are allowing racist rhetoric to control what's going on in our community. So what it's doing is clouding the minds of our people. That's what we're doing. I'm making a commitment tonight, right now on this live feed. Tag me in any positive story, success stories. I don't care if somebody is graduating from school. I don't care if somebody, whatever positive that you have. We always talk about black on black crime in Chicago. People, we need to start. There are organizations right now that are fighting in the trenches. We got mentor programs, men and women. We got mentor programs out here. People got nonprofit organizations right now that are fighting right now to fight crime in the communities. We're not sharing their posts. We're not sharing their stories. We're not doing that. And the people who have the microphone, right? The people who have the microphone, they're not allowing this to be pushed because they don't want the narrative to actually be positive about black people. They don't want that narrative. So we're going to, all of us, anybody who's watching this, whether you agree or disagree, we are going to have to create our platforms, share our stories, because at this point, it's all out warfare. It's all out warfare on the black community, our culture, and our history. It's all out warfare. I'm telling you. I mean, all out warfare. Let me find that tweet that I had that I shared. Hold on. I want to just give me one second. I'm gonna show you this. And I talked about this and I shared it. But check this out, right? Hold on. Let me break this down for y'all really quick. Really quick. I'm gonna share this post. All right. Now, if y'all know Charlie Kirk, right? Charlie Kirk is the founder of Turning Point USA, which is a conservative group, and it's very popular. A lot of you know about Turning Point USA. I found this thread to be one of the most enlightening threads by a conservative by the name of Drew Holden. Drew Holden is, I mean, I've been following him on Twitter for a while. He always makes good points. Now, Drew Holden noticed this about Charlie Kirk. Remember, Charlie Kirk is the founder and the president of Turning Point USA. Turning Point USA, they get a lot of young conservatives. They train them. They teach them in politics. They are where the future leaders of the conservative movement are supposed to come out of. That's what Turning Point USA is. It's almost like a miniature think tank. They set themselves up on colleges and universities, and they recruit young people, and they talk to them about ideology and conservatism and all of that. So they are very influential in the conservative movement. Now, Charlie Kirk is the founder. This guy called Charlie Kirk out on Twitter. He says, since George Floyd's killing, matter of fact, let me click on Charlie Kirk's profile so y'all who know. This man has 1.7 million followers on Twitter. Charlie Kirk, founder and president, Turning Point USA. Very popular guy. 1.7, almost 2 million followers on Twitter. Now, check this out. So this guy says, since George Floyd's killing, as the U.S. has undergone a reckoning on race, Charlie Kirk has tweeted about Black lives 76 times. Every single one has been outrage porn, cherry pick Black GOP voters, or crime-related clickbait. Conservatives, we have to do better than this. Now, look at some of the things Charlie Kirk actually tweets about. Patrick Underwood was a Black federal law enforcement officer. He was killed over the weekend as a result of the riots and racial injustice. Did his life not matter too? It doesn't matter to you. You're just using it. You're just using it as political fodder. A cop is 1.5 times more likely to be shot by a Black person than an unarmed Black person is to be shot by a cop. So now, see, so now you got to understand, look what Charlie Kirk is doing. What they do is they don't address the issue that's at hand. They use their audience to deflect to other statistics to try to minimize what Black people are saying and to minimize Black voices. What they do is they come and they say, no. You shouldn't worry about police in your community because a cop is 1.5 more times likely to be shot by a Black person than an unarmed Black person is to be shot by a cop. That's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about. But they're so wickedly in what they do Joe Biden vowed to address institutional racism in his first 100 days in office. Why didn't he do it in 8 years as Obama's vice president? Now, this guy doesn't believe in institutional racism. He thinks it's a joke and it doesn't even exist. So all he's doing basically is just, trying to make a joke. But this is the thing. What have the Republicans done during the same time period to address institutional racism? So what he's doing is he's deflecting. Joe Biden hasn't addressed it. Well, what have the Republicans done to address it? Nothing. They don't even think that is real. So guys like him are very crafty in what they're doing because, okay, check this out. Can we please speak about the facts, not just emotive innuendo? Police are not racist. In fact, black people are less likely to be killed by police than police are to be killed by a black person. Learn the truth. The Charlie Kirk Show, police are not racist. That has nothing to do with the issues at hand in trying to resolve a problem that exists in the community. So what he's doing is he's taking away strategically from the argument at hand and the reason why people want to have these conversations, and he's moving it over to something else. This is what you call deflection at its finest. And we bite on it. We bite on it. That's my phone. We bite on it, and not only do we bite on it, but we allow it to cloud our minds, and we follow it. See, we shouldn't allow the far right or the far right racists. We shouldn't allow them in any way, shape, or form to control our narrative. Never. We should never allow far right bigots or the alt-right to control the conversation. Never. And that's why a lot of the black conservatives right now who I talk to, and there's some white conservatives too, they get it and they understand. Our communities are suffering. We need to have people who have solutions, who aren't just getting on here trying to, oh man, what about black on black crime in Chicago and all of these things like that? No, we got to eventually take a stand and do what's right in our community. We got to highlight issues that we feel are relevant and stick to your guns. Stick to your guns. That's what we got to do. Stick to our guns. Never let them change or shape the conversation. Because it's a lot of people, on the far right who definitely, what they're basically saying when they do stuff like this is, it's okay for there to be police brutality because you have crime in your neighborhood. It's okay. Now, just think every neighborhood has crime. So where does that come from? And then if you notice, and I'm gonna talk to a lot of the black. I want to say something to a lot of black conservatives right now who listening, because you don't understand how you're being manipulated. The black conservatives, now not all of them, because like I said, I got some straight up warriors on my page on Facebook and Twitter and all of that. So it ain't all of them. But I'm gonna tell you like this. A lot of black conservatives and black Republicans, you're being manipulated and used by the alt-right to be the face of racism, to justify outright lies and desensitization of the way how we're treated so that we can continue to be discriminated against. They're using you to deflect from these conversations. Black conservatives, they are using you as a face to propagate white supremacy. You might say, Shakim, you tripping. I know they say, Shakim, you tripping right now. I'm going to prove this to you. I'm gonna prove this to you. If you go on a lot of the Black Conservative Friends page, and I'm gonna share some of their stuff too, just to show you. I'm gonna show you what's happening. This is what they're doing to some of the Black conservatives. They have you get on and they'll say, anytime a Black conservative says something negative about the Black community, you're gonna see 100 white people get on it. Yeah. See, yeah, we told you. Yup. Yeah, they animals. They this and that. And sometimes I look and I say, like, y'all really sit back and let them say that on y'all page? Like, I mean, bro, it's amazing. Sometimes I sit back and I'm like, bro, you ain't just checked this person? Now check this out. If a Black conservative ever said, let's have a conversation about the opioid crisis in white communities, they don't want to hear that. They're going to shut you down. Because what they want to use you as entertainment, not education. They want to use you as entertainment. So if you say, well, let's talk about all these school shootings where okay, so right now we're out of school. Let's talk about whites in school shootings because we're planning on going back to school. Let's have a conversation about white kids shooting up schools, white males shooting up schools. Oh, no. They don't want to talk about that. You're going to lose all your likes. You're going to lose your viewers, and your content is going to fall. Your content is going to fall because you have built your audience off of destroying and making a mockery of Black people. They are laughing at you. But you don't understand this simple thing. Black conservatives, they are laughing at you. When you start posting all of this stuff about, yeah, man, you know, Black people, Black women, and then they just go all off on Black women. Oh man, Black women, they ghetto and all they having is they act like white women don't never have an abortion. Oh man, see, white Black women, oh man, all they doing is they killing each other. You know, they having all these abortions and this and that. White women got to have abortions too. What does that have to do with anything? But what's happening is that they're competing, right? They're competing for dollars. They're competing for dollars. The biggest hustle right now is for a Black person. I'm going to tell you how a Black person can make money overnight. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to expose it. If you are a Black person and you on your last leg and you don't have no money, all you got to do is put on a MAGA hat and talk about Black on Black crime. That is instant money. That is the new hustle in America. I got a Trump hat. Wherever it is, I don't know where it's at. I got one, but I damn sure ain't gonna sell my soul and start looking like no fool when my goal and my mission is to uplift my people. I want to be a solutionary. I need to go in and try to figure out how we can solve a lot of the mysteries of education reform, police reform, economic opportunity. I'm putting on my thinking hat to see how I can solve these problems in the community. I'm not here to get up and to make, to point out all of the things that goes on negative in the Black community to help white conservatives laugh. Bro, y'all have really lost y'all mind. You lost your mind. Lost your mind. That's why I always tell y'all, you got to be real careful about what you say, because a lot of times they use your arguments to try to justify their racism and they hate. See, you gotta be careful, man. That's why I appreciate the white people who get it, the white people who listen, the white people who understand. I respect them. I respect them 100%. The white people who say, you know what, man, damn, I didn't think of it like that. The white people who say, you know what? If this is a problem, how can we be a part of the solution? I respect that. The white people who say, you know what? Man, I hear y'all talking about police community relations. How can I help you and what you're doing to try to bridge the gap? See, these are the white people who I say, you know what? You got it, right? Because a lot of people know me in the city, and a lot of people know that we've been fighting for decades trying to resolve conflict, black on black crime, all of that. So when I have these Johnny come latelys come up to me talking about what about black on black crime, I look at them like they're crazy. We've been fighting this forever. We've been fighting this forever. I'm telling you, man, we got to be real vigilant and real careful, because a lot of the narrative right now is shifting. It's shifting. And I hate to say it, but a lot of the black MAGA operatives, they're not critical thinkers. What they do is they entertain us. They're just cheerleaders. Oh, no, Trump 2020, Trump 2020. Hey, Trump 2020, Trump 2020. That's it. That's it. A lot of the black MAGA water carriers are only cheerleaders. They don't come with new thoughts. They don't come with new solutions. They don't come with ways how they could go in the community. A lot of them can't. They just say, Trump let black people out of jail, or they say, lowest black unemployment rate. They'll say things like that, but they don't know how unemployment got down. See, they don't know how to continue to think of ideas how you can build home ownership in the black community. See, you can't get them to think past Trump 2020, MAGA, Trump 2020. You can't get them to think past that. What about black on black crime in Chicago? Republicans aren't racist. See, that's all they know how to do. If you brought them to a table right now, like I said, I know some real sharp black conservatives, so don't get it twisted. I know a lot of them, but they just don't get that light because a lot of white conservatives don't want black intellectuals. They want the black fan club. See, they want the MAGA fan club. They don't, and that's just some of them, but a lot of them, to be honest, they don't want the black intellectual. They don't want that. They don't want the black intellectual who's going to say, you know what, let's see how we can make housing more affordable. Whether it's through tax breaks, tax incentives, or something. How can we put more money in the communities that will eventually help black people to save more money so that they can save up for down payments on homes, which is going to help grow the economy, because as home ownership grows, the economy grows. See, they don't want black people, a lot of them, they don't want black people to think like that. They just want to make it 2020, Trump 2020, and we love Trump, we love Trump. That's all they want. They don't want the black person who's going to say, you know what, let's see how we can look at some of the flaws in the opportunity zone legislation, fix it to where we don't have potential gentrification in certain areas. See, they don't have the type of black people who are going to sit back and analyze problems and come up with a solution. They don't have that. They don't want that. What they do is they say, we need 6% of the black vote in order to win. We need 6% of the black vote. So what they're going to do is that's the 6% that they want, they're going to cherry pick it. They're going to cherry pick it. See, we only, if you say, well, what about black on black crime in Chicago? That's what we want. Well, what about these black women having abortion? This is what we want. We want to own the left. Let me put on my MAGA hat so I can own the left and make liberals mad. This is what we want. See, they don't have an intellectual renaissance. They just want somebody who's going to put on to be a black person with a MAGA hat to make a liberal mad. That's what we want. You don't want a black person to put on a MAGA hat to say, listen, how can we deal with prison reform in our community? They don't want that. Hey, listen, I got white Republican friends now who they don't even want to like my posts. They used to when I was in the community, I'm always in the community. When they first meet me, damn man, y'all do so much in the community, which we do. They like that. But then when I start speaking up and saying, yo, something ain't right, we not handling that, they back away. Because they don't want an intellectual black person, not all of them, a lot of them, they don't want an intellectual black person who's going to think of creative ways to solve problems. They don't want the problems to be solved. What they want are black people who are just going to parrot the talking points of a Charlie Kirk and of a Brandon Stracker. That's it. That's it. Matter of fact, let's talk about Brandon Stracker. Let me show you something that this dude did today. And I just shook my head because you gotta be real careful. Let me show you something. Let me get to I'm looking up something really quick for y'all. But I want to show y'all something that's very, very, very interesting. Very interesting. Why can't? What in the world? It's on Twitter. I'm trying to find it. Where is it? Oh, I'm trying to find it for y'all. Just give me 1 second. 1 second. And I don't know why I can't find it. But there's a post, and I'm trying to get it, but I don't see it. Hold on. Y'all give me 1 second, because this is very, very interesting, and I want y'all to see what it is. But why I can't? Okay. All right. Hold on. Now I want y'all to see this really quick. Let me make it bigger so y'all can see. Make this bigger so y'all can see. Hold on. I want y'all to see this. All right. Give me a second. All right, really quick. Let me share the screen. I want y'all to see this really quick. Now, this guy, Brandon Stracker, he is from the Walkaway movement. He started off, he said he was a liberal, and he's part of the gay movement, and he started having or doing what Candace Owens is doing, and he wanted people to walk away from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party. This guy, especially after Ahmaud Arbery, he has been making or tweeting things that are very, very racist. Very. And his true colors are coming out. True colors. A lot of people seeing it. When he replied to this, I said, you know what, bro, you got to watch these people because they're snakes. And what's happening is that they're becoming more and more emboldened by a lot of the rhetoric that's coming from Trump or coming from a lot of his followers. And a lot of black people are co-signing it, who they using as flunkies, and they feeling like they can say that. This man said, we have to stop the world now because black people think a garage rope is a noose, but white people are fragile. LOL, you're mentally ill. He was referring to somebody, talking to somebody about the case with Bubba Wallace. Keep in mind, no black person ever said, or nobody said that we have to stop the world because black people feel like a garage rope is a noose. No, that was a noose. We're not stupid. You might think we're stupid, but everybody knows what a noose looked like. We saw the picture. FBI released it. But what they do is they totally disregard fact. They will keep going on that lie that they're perpetuating, and their racism and bigotry is showing. Do you ever think this white boy right here would ever tell a Jew that he should not be offended by a swastika? Do you ever think he would tell a Jew that, no, you shouldn't be offended by a swastika? Do you ever think he would tell somebody that? He won't. He won't. But they feel comfortable with telling black people what we should and we shouldn't do. They feel comfortable. Yeah, they feel uncomfortable. So, man, we gotta be vigilant in what we do, because I'm telling you, man, right now we gotta make sure that our efforts are directed in the right area. Freedom, justice, equality, fight for what's right. Let's just do what's right, man. Do what's right, and let's continue, thinking of solutions and not letting the narrative be controlled by people who really don't care about resolution. All they want to do is make black people look bad so that they can continue openly discriminating against us and using talking points about Chicago and abortion and other things just to try to make us feel like we shouldn't be fighting for or to see an end to systemic racism. They always like to say systemic racism doesn't exist, but then they'll be the first ones to talk about Planned Parenthood. Well, Planned Parenthood was designed to actually keep black women from having babies. That's systemic racism. You just admitted it in the same breath. They'll say, well, Joe Biden and Bill Clinton, they put together legislation that targeted black people in the community. That's systemic racism. That's what that means. You just described it in one breath. So you're saying it exists in one breath when you try to make your talking points, but then when we turn around and say, no. That's what systemic racism is. Oh, well, it's on the left. It's on the left. It is. So, we got to do better. Like I said, man, the white people who, really want to have, decent conversations, I appreciate that. I appreciate it. I think good conversation is needed, but it shouldn't come at the expense of trying to divert and trying to put together these talking points to deflect from the topic. You can't say because a guy down shot the other day, you can't say that, oh, well, I shouldn't be mad that Walter Scott got shot 8 times running in the back by former Officer Slager. I shouldn't be mad at that because a guy got shot last week down the street. No. Doesn't work like that. But I love y'all, man. I'm out. This is Brother Shakim. Man, I appreciate all of y'all for coming in. Like I said, just to reiterate, I want y'all to make sure that we are sharing positive things and accomplishments that black people. I want to have a conversation. What conversation you want to have? You need the link? You want a link? Okay. Here's the link. I just posted the link. If somebody want to have a conversation, click on that link and come in. I give you 5 minutes to get on because I'm about to go. But if somebody want to have a conversation, I just sent y'all the link to get on in. All you got to do is click that link to bring you right in here, and you can come and we can have that conversation. If you want to have it, let's do it. We need to move in the next 5 minutes, so I'm gonna wait 5 more minutes. Come on in. But like I said, if we continue to want to deflect and allow these talking points of the alt-right to prevail, right, it's not going to work. And to be honest, we being played by the left too. Like we being played by the left because what the left is doing is they're hijacking the narrative too. And they're we never talked about defunding the police. Where the hell did that come from? Defunding the police? Nobody ever said that. Where did that come from? So it's a lot of things that what's happening is the left is playing a game, the right is playing the game, and people who are really about reform in the communities, we're in the middle having to do like this. We're doing like this. We're in the middle doing like this. We're doing like this. Do you think law enforcement is systemically racist or just some bad cops? I believe reform is needed. If you got some bad cops, they still work in the system, right? So there is flaws in the system. So yes, there is systemic racism. We found out through the Ferguson report that what was happening, and even here, look, I don't even gotta go that far. To Ferguson, I can talk in my own city. We found through racial bias reports that our police department was stopping more black people than white people, and they weren't even writing tickets. That's systemic racism. So what's happening is that you have a police force for some odd reason. They're stopping more black than white people, and the black people were way. The demographics were like what 23% black, 63% white. But then you're stopping more blacks than whites and not writing tickets. That's the whole thing. If you had them and you was writing tickets, and okay, cool, fine. You went in the wrong, but you're not writing tickets. That is a systemic problem, and it needs to be talked about. It needs to be worked out, discovered, and handled. Yes, so there is systemic racism in certain police departments. Just handle it. See, it's when you don't want to admit that something is wrong, that's when it becomes hard to find a solution because you don't want to admit it. Okay, there's issues with the system. Let's see how we can fix it. Okay, it ain't as hard as what it sounds, but the problem is we just scratching. Oh, I don't want to admit it. It doesn't exist. Okay, it exists. So what? Let's fix it. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Reform is needed, most definitely. Let's fight for reform. Let's fight for change. Let's fight for balance. Let's fight for justice because we all got to coexist together. We all got to coexist. Let's find ways to coexist. Let's not just try to use these worthless talking points. Hold on. Somebody said, Shakim, what do you suggest is the cure for the problem? Yes, there are many issues that need. Okay, so one of the cures for the problem is this. We need a better system overall to make sure that police who get fired for these offenses, they can't just go hopping from one police department to the next. They can't. They can't. That's one of the big solutions. Let me. You are delusional if you believe in changing this system. Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. Honestly, the system, like Malcolm X said, the system in and of itself, you have enough law books now in order for things to run properly. You do. You do. The only thing we got to do is just make sure things are implemented correctly. This is never going to be a perfect world. You're never going to be in a utopia. The thing is, you always have to make sure that justice will prevail. That's it. You're never going to totally get rid of police brutality. Never. You're never going to get rid of it. It's going to happen. You're never going to get rid of crime, whether it's black on black, white on white, Mexican. It's all going to exist because this is the world that we live in. So, no change in the system and all of that. At the end of the day, that has nothing to do with making sure when something happens, we need to be on there and we need to make sure that we jump on problems as soon as they exist. But if you say, well, you are in denial that this is a capitalist, white male, Christian dominated society that's made perpetual slave. Okay, that's okay. Okay. So what? But that's over with. That's how do we move forward? See, that's why I love people like Dr. Amos Wilson, because Dr. Amos Wilson, he said what happens a lot of times, we become we have analysis paralysis. Dr. Amos Wilson said we have analysis paralysis. So when he writes books like The Blueprint for Black Power, and he tells us about how we can build our own economic gateway to freedom, we don't have to just get stuck analyzing about, the white capitalist, white male, Christian dominated society, perpetual slaves. Nah, that's why he wrote The Falsification of African Consciousness. Dr. Amos Wilson wrote these type of books to tell us, hey, this is the path that we need to move forward because we know what type of society that we came up in. He provides the solution. That book is almost 1,000 pages full of nothing but solutions on how we can survive as a people so we don't have to whine and complain. Man, in the Falsification of African Consciousness, he talked about how you have black people out here now who, just want to focus on, the history portion of it, which is cool. It's cool. It's cool. But at the end of the day, bro, when you get so caught up on things like this, you're gonna stay stagnated. You're gonna always have a defeatist mindset. Bro, we got scholars out here now. We got scholars, bro, that are showing us the way to work and the way to move. They showing us. They showing us what to do. Bro, we can invest. We can put our money together. We can build school. Bro, look at Marcus Klein. Marcus Klein out there in Chicago. We can adopt what Marcus Klein doing. You got Baba Amin right here in South Carolina. But these brothers building schools, showing us the blueprint. Bro, what we sitting back complaining for? We got the blueprint right in front of us. Let's use it and adopt it. Bro, don't let the teachings of Marcus Garvey go to waste. Man, I'm out, man. Peace, y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later, man. I love it. Man, hold on. Somebody said, what's your take on public education? I work in it, and I believe it's broke. How can we make it better? Supplement it at home. I think that's the best thing to do. Supplement it at home. The public education system is broken. I believe that the best way that we can make public education better is through having strong supplementary programs. I think that's wonderful, and I think we need to continue to do more, and we need to build more, and I think that's it. I think that's it. I think that's it. I think making sure that we can take advantage of a lot of the time that we have when we're with our children, something that we really need to do. I feel like that's something that is very important. And if we want to fix public education, there are ways that we could come in and start tutoring people. We could start after school programs. We can go in, assist teachers, go in and help. I think that's the way how we can fix public education, getting in the grind. That's why I taught the conflict resolution program. Me and some brothers, we went in there, and our goal was to help the kids in the public school system so that we can be able to have a positive impact on the children. So that's my thing. That's my thing. So I like that question because that's something that we really need to do. I know it's real hard, but if we put our money where our mouth is, I think we'll be okay. We put our money where our mouth is, we're gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? And I think never stop somebody from pursuing what they want to do. I think we need to encourage people and always make sure that everybody who we seek to uplift, give them the knowledge and wisdom and understanding, and help them out. Give them a push. Give them a push. That's it. This Quasi dude, I don't even know why. Why do y'all even come on my this? I want to, and I say this right. I say this. I don't follow people. I don't follow people that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't follow people I don't like. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing about me. Me personally, I might disagree with somebody or something like that. I'd be cordial. You know what I'm saying? But if I don't really like you, I don't come on and come on your posts and be mad and upset and all that. I don't even follow you. You know what I'm saying? Even if I don't like somebody personally, that people make good points. But you got certain people who just come on and they troll, and I don't know. It's like a waste of time to me. But hey, I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for listening. This is Brother Shakim, man. I'm out. Peace.